So just how confident am I in my own grading skills? Well, we're about to find out. Hey there, today I have another CGC unboxing video, and in this video I'm going to open up this smaller box that I received from CGC. And inside are 3 books, and all 3 have a custom label. I'm a little bit of a sucker for the custom labels. I've talked about this in a previous unboxing video where I like the aesthetics of the label. I think CGC has the better label out of all the professional grading companies. And I think from a presentation standpoint, I think the label matters. And CGC offers a number of custom labels. And when I don't always necessarily think that a specific book that I'm sending in must have it. Sometimes it's just, again, I think a lot of comic book collecting and a lot of comic book decision making has to do with the mood that you're in. So I feel like when I sent in these 3 books, I just felt like spending the extra $5 and getting the custom labels on the books. Now, I've talked about this before too. If you are going to do a custom label, you have to be really sure that the book is going to come back in the grade that you think it should come back in. For these 3 books, I am expecting and assuming 9.8s. So I think that if you have a custom label for a book that you expect to get a 9.8 and it doesn't, you end up looking silly. So this is going to be fun. I don't know which 3 books these are. I don't remember the order. I didn't look. So I could end up looking silly on any number of books inside here. So let me get to the unboxing and I'll show you the 3 books. And what's interesting about this order too is I was actually quite surprised to get this because in my last unboxing, I had sent in these 3 books with that order and asked for custom labels on these 3. That Ultimate Fallout 4 second print that I did get a custom label on, that was for a completely different order. So the timing of how they all came in, it was just a little strange. Things seemed a little out of order, and I don't know if there's some sort of shipping delay when you order more than one custom label. I don't even want to pretend that I understand the CGC turnaround schedule and all of that. I'm just happy to get my books back, so I'm excited, I'm anxious. I want to go ahead and get this box open and take a look at the 3 books, and then you can kind of decide based on the grades I got and the books if the custom label was worth it. So here we go. All right, so I'm not exactly sure how best to hide these. I'm just going to go ahead and leave the cardboard on and try to take a look at them one at a time. Let me turn them over. All right, so no peeking here. Okay, let's see. All right, so we've got. Oh, this is. Okay, so the grade's not on the back. This is another Ultimate Fallout 4 second print. That's right, I did have 2 of these. Oh boy, okay, so here we go again. I talked about this before, but I'll say it again. Miles Morales, to me, is the modern character. His first appearance is the modern book to have, whether it's the cover A or the 1 in 25. Those 2 books are way out of my price range. I'd love to own them, just like we all would. But to me, this is a very nice entry point. I think this is a very valuable and collectible book. But it is a far cry from the value that the first print, cover A, and the Jurjevic 1 in 25 is. So I took a chance and I bought, I think, 3 of these from Mile High Comics. 2 of them looked like a 9.8. The other one, not so much. Maybe it could be pressed. I'm not exactly sure. But I don't mind having that copy raw. And again, because of the importance of Miles and the importance of his first appearance, I felt like it was worth it to get the custom label. So let's see what this second Ultimate Fallout 4 got. 9.8. All right. So that's awesome. And like the last order, I did not send these books in for pressing by CCS. I did not press them myself. I just took a chance. The case itself looks great. I don't see any scratches. There's no... Fizbin had contacted me too. He had mentioned that he got a shipment of slabs that were almost loose at the top, like they weren't attached, which should be a production error on CGC's part. But this is great. I don't see any, and as soon as I say I don't see any scratches, it's usually when I see one. But this case looks really, really good. So now I'm thinking, like, when these books are shipped vertically, and they're kind of, in the taller CGC box, are they moving? Are the slabs moving against each other and creating those scratches? I don't know. I know it has the plastic bag on it, but just like Midtown Comics shipping in the paper bag, it's not really going to protect each individual slab. It'd be great if CGC had some sort of like bubble wrap bag instead of that thin plastic bag. Maybe some of these books get damaged in transit. I don't know. But back to the comic itself. Awesome. Love it. Everything I said about Miles, I would say again, but I'll spare you. But just a fantastic Mark Bagley cover. I think that probably my only regret right now is that there was a signature series. I don't remember exactly. I know Bagley was part of it. But I don't know if anyone else involved, Bendis or Pacelli or anyone, somebody that would make sense to get this book signed. I did miss that, so I did not think about that. I think when I was sending it in, like, I should have considered maybe sending one in for the signature series and one other one. Some of it could have just been nerves, like, am I really confident that it's 9.8? But again, this is sort of the anxiety and the pressure with the custom label. So let me put this aside. I'll mention something else too. I just sent in my first order to CGC with a pre-screen. And what I did notice is with a pre-screen, you can select that custom label. So that is something else that I'm going to think about down the road. If I've got a book and I want the custom label and I think the color matches, or for whatever reason I'm feeling generous to myself, I'm in the right mood, I'm going to maybe do the pre-screen option because it's a minimum 25 books, but it's not a minimum 25 with a custom label. You can always do a minimum 25 and then pick a couple. And then the difference is you get a shipment like this that's separate. So you're paying for shipping twice, you're paying a total shipping amount. So if the total shipping, let's say, is $50, it's not $25 for each shipment. It's all dependent on weight and the carrier and all of that. So let me get to the second book here. All right, so the grade is not on the back. This is X-Men 153, I believe. This is one of those non-key books. It's Kitty Pryde, one of my favorite X-Men. I think I say that about all the X-Men, but it's kind of true. And right in the thick of the Claremont run and so forth. But this is a book that I would find very, very often at a very, very affordable price. And like with most things, like similar to the Ultimate Fallout 4, once I accumulate a number of raw copies, I feel like it's a really great opportunity to take out all of those raw copies and look at all of them and pick the best one, I think, and send in. Now, this is a question I will have for you. Do you think this book is worthy of a custom label? I don't know. Now, of course, looking back on it, I would probably say no. If it gets a 9.8, then I think, okay, I'm sort of forgiven in a way. But this is just a book I love. I love the cover. I love the fact that, Kitty was a little bit of kind of like a naive character at this point, and there was just something about this that it's just one of my favorite X-Men covers. So let me show you the grade and let's talk about it. Here we go for X-Men 153. 9.8. Okay, so right on. So now if you don't think it deserves the custom label, I'm still fine with that opinion. But at least it's a 9.8, so I've got that. So this is just fantastic. It's one of those where I don't want to say Claremont took an issue off of X-Men, because that's not what I mean. It's not like he didn't, give it his all. But a lot of times the X-Men would kind of go on some of these adventures, like they just go to the beach, play football or baseball or something like that. And this cover reminds me of sort of those one-off stories here. So Kitty's there. She's got her popcorn and soda. It's kind of like a movie poster sort of situation. And it's like, and now for something completely different. I love that right on the cover with sort of like a baby Nightcrawler. Is that the first appearance of baby Nightcrawler, by the way, on a cover? You've got Lockheed down here. There's a lot to look at. So I wanted to get this book slabbed. I want to put it on the wall because to me it screams just early 80s X-Men nostalgia. And it's great because it was really quite cheap. And I kept finding this book between Atomic Avenue and Mile High Comics for almost not nothing, but relative to other X-Men books of this era and keys, it was a super affordable book, and it's just not something that's in that high demand. And I wanted to make sure that the book that I chose was well wrapped alongside. So again, I kind of like looked at all of my copies of 153 and just thought, this is really the best one. It did not require a clean and press either. So really, really nice white pages book. Love it. All right, so 2 for 2. Okay. Last, and I would say certainly not least, but I don't remember the book, so we're about to find out. All right, so this one is X-Men 166. This was another one that I was sort of digging up. I'd had several copies that really needed a press. This one to me looked very, very clean, crisp. I'm kind of looking at the back. Same thing as X-Men 153. Did not require a clean and press from the looks at it. It's super bright white, well wrapped and so forth. Again, the question is, did it deserve a custom label? If it gets a 9.8, I would say yes. If not, well, then probably not. But even as a 9.8, this is considered a minor key for X-Men, whereas 153 is not even a key. But I just believe that over time, books like this, X-Men, Claremont, classic run of X-Men artists, they're all going to end up being keys in a way with age and in high grade. So to me, it was worth it to put in the slab with the custom label. So let's see what grade it got. 9.8. All right, 3 for 3. So very cool. Now, as I look at it, it does have just a gentle spine push. So this is something that I always, right in here in the spine, and it's hard to tell once it's in the slab, but right in here is just a subtle, gentle creasing. And again, and that is, there's a subtle, gentle creasing there. And that is caused by comics just laying on top of each other, or even in a bin where the comics are packed too tight. And it's just where they're not aligned correctly, and the backing board is just pushing on the book. Whenever I see that book, or a book like that raw, I start at a 9.6 and kind of work my way down. This one, as I'm looking at it, that I did not press, and I'm kind of using the light back and forth, it certainly has it, and it's still got a 9.8. And so I almost feel like you're forgiven by CGC if the rest of the book is pristine, and I really thought this was good. The other thing I would note too, which I'm always trying to learn from, let's see if I can get it in here. If you look at the top left corner right on top of the spine, you'll note that there's a little bit of the paper that's coming off. Now, that is not a tear. It's just sort of, it's not a printing defect per se. It's just a manufacturing thing where right on the corners of these types of books, if it was not cut precisely for whatever reason during the production process, there's just a little bit of extra paper that hangs there. I never take that off. I never go, oh, and pull it off because it could tear the book. But that is something that I took a chance on. Just I knew it wasn't my fault. So that's interesting to me too, because I have books like that where I'm kind of, it's borderline 9.8, just with that little extra bit of paper. And I always wonder if that affects the grade, and in this case it did not. So that's cool too. The spine to me also is not pristine. There are no color breaking spine ticks, but there are non-color breaking spine ticks. I'm counting maybe 3 or 4. But again, the cleanliness of the book, I just noticed too, you probably caught this, it is off-white to white pages. So not a white pager. So a little bit of a spoiler for a 3 for 3 9.8 order. I still think a fantastic presentable book. It does get taken down a notch for not getting the clean white pages. But yeah, so this book is considered the first appearance of Lockheed. Binary also makes an appearance. I think I said there's Lockheed down there on 153. So I'm not sure about that. I'll have to do a little research to see if that's like supposed to be a cameo of Lockheed or if it's somebody else. But the thought process behind it is, if we're going to get Kitty Pryde in the MCU, then I think, especially with it being owned by Disney now, we're also going to get Lockheed. And although I'm sure it will be some sort of CGI character, if Lockheed shows up in a trailer in a future X-Men related Disney Plus show or film, I believe that this book will get some attention. So there you go. So 3 books back. That kind of completes my original order from CGC. They're all 9/8. 2 got white pages, 1 did not. They all got custom labels. So again, my question to you is, when do you decide to get a custom label? Do you not bother with them? Does it matter? When you're searching on any auction houses or searching the internet to buy books, do you ever include custom label when you're searching? I'll be honest, I don't. I just look for the book. I feel like if it has the custom label, it is more attractive to me, and I might bid a few dollars more only because I know about the additional cost for the label and to ship it back. So I feel like, if there's 2 books and they're relatively equal value, and I had to pick, I'm going to pick the custom label. But if you're just looking to grade books and potentially resell them, doesn't matter. You certainly get them back faster from CGC if you don't pick the custom label, so there's that to consider too. Yeah, I'd love to get your feedback on it. Let me know how I did. Would you get custom labels on these books? I feel like, yes, that's a no-brainer. These 2, well, maybe if you're a big-time X-Men fan, it makes sense, but maybe you save it for some of those more major X-Men keys. I totally respect and appreciate that opinion too. So let me know in the comments what you think. Thanks for watching. Happy collecting, and see you next time.